Hello everybody, this is Corang15, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. A very much different series on the channel than the normal gaming stuff or the normal, occasional, life posts and all that stuff. So, about a week and a half ago, I started a Tellonym. Now, if you don't know what a Tellonym is a place used in social media to ask random anonymous questions to people, and depending on the type of question they present to them, the person they're directing it to will answer them. I made this about a week and a half ago, and I've been dabbling for the last few days about maybe making a series on it. Basically, I'll just take 10 questions, really dissect my answers, and just kind of ramble about why I answered a question certain ways or whatever. So I already have almost close to 170 tells. I'm probably gonna do 10 questions per, and I'll just try to knock out. I'll try to knock out 3 different videos right now, and basically this is gonna be a 1 video series. I'm not gonna upload them in chunks like I do with the games or anything like that. This is just gonna be like 1 episode, every 3 or 4 days or something like that. Maybe I'll release an episode on Tuesday, and then I'll release another one on Friday. Just because I know in the time span of a week, I get about 6 to 8 questions a day, and I answer them all. So I answer anything. I answer anything presented to me. So there's the link. If you want to send me something, Corang15 or Corey Mainsley, I believe, is the account. So we're just gonna get started. And basically, I'm gonna move over to the next tab. Alright, so the first question I ever got was, how old am I? I am 31 years old. My birthday is June 5th, and I was born in the year of 1993, which, if you know your zodiacs, makes me a rooster. And I believe there's a zodiac question further up at some point. So let's move on to the next one. That's pretty self-explanatory. You single? Yes, I am single. I got my marriage. I think I made a video about this. My marriage with Lauren, the girl that I played. I think I uploaded and made Phasmophobia videos on, and we did the complete game of Raft together, which is one of my favorite series that I've ever done with somebody. Yeah, it was weird. I don't really know what happened. So last June, not this previous June of 2023, everything was kind of normal between us, and then her mental health just declined at such a sudden rate that I wasn't ready for, and she started not really, I wouldn't say paying attention to me. She started not interacting with me, and I'm kind of an NPC. I like to be interacted with first because I feel like if I ever interact first with anybody, I just feel like I'm bugging them. So I have low self-esteem and self-worth issues, and I'm just an NPC. So she started interacting less with me, and at first I was trying to engage with her a little bit, maybe not as good as I should have. But then there were times where days I would send her a message, and I know she'd still be awake, and she would just leave me on red. And after the 3rd or 4th time that happened, I was just if I'm just gonna back off, because now she's making me feel like I'm just a nuisance. So yeah, long story short, I'll try not to go into a ramble about it. Long story short, the summer of 2023 was mentally exhausting for me, because we wouldn't really spend time together or talk to each other, but on the few days that we did, she would talk about and always chime up about how she's playing Call of Duty with friends or doing things with friends or anything like that, and and all of that stuff, or she's playing Minecraft with people, and it just, I don't know, it kind of just shot me, she fucking shot me in the gut or something like that, because I was just really? So you say you can only play Fortnite or Call of Duty Warzone because your laptop's out of whack, but you're still able to make your laptop suffer through games just to play with their friends, but you tell me it's not an option that we can play? What? That doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm your husband. You're like you're supposed to tell me straight up, like, hey, I want to spend time with you. Why am I suckered into just only two choices while you give the liberty of your friends to, like, other options? Yeah, it was just, and then like, everything through the holidays, like, I was really mentally torn apart during the holidays. I should probably turn off notifications, because that is messages to a server that I don't believe I want on video. I need to turn off notifications real quick. There you go. All right. And, yeah, we finally fucking closed. We finally just, like, split apart at the beginning of May. It was one of those things where, she started capping a lot. Like, she was saying things in March and April that just didn't make sense to me. Because, like, she was coming up with she was saying these things to me, and we'd been almost married 4 years, and she's telling me these things, and it just didn't make sense because that wasn't her stance on it, like, 2 years into the marriage. Like, she was telling me how, like, oh, well, she was telling me over the summer and over the winter last year that, oh, well, how she is her real self. She just didn't really know how to display it properly. And I'm like, bull fucking shit, dude. Like, the first 3 years of our marriage, you were a completely tolerable person that I really loved. And now you're just like, oh, well, the person I am now is the real person who I am. No, you do not. No. Listen, if we were months into the relationship and then she said that, I could believe it. But you don't, like, mask yourself, especially to your partner, for 3 years and then come out of nowhere and say, oh, this is the real me now. I'm actually, confident to actually show it. Like, no. Yeah, she started doing stuff like that in March and April. And I wanted to cling on to the relationship because part of me still really loved her. But, I look back on it now that we've been split since May and it's now August. And if I got asked if I would take her back, no. I would absolutely not take her back. She is somebody else's, like, person they can have. Like, she's not worth the mental issues that she put me through, especially in the last few months of our relationship. Like, I felt so freaking abandoned and shelved, and yeah, she could be somebody else's. Even 3 to 4 years down the line, even if, like, she cleans herself up and, like, she comes back to me, I don't think I'm gonna open the door for her. Like, I don't think so. Like, I'm grateful for all the times we had, but, like, you can't come back to somebody who you left and discarded like anybody else you had in the previous points of your life, and then just say, hey, I'm really sorry, can we make up and get back to... No, we don't do that. All right, let's move on. Oh yeah, here we go, the zodiac question. What is your zodiac sign? So I'm a Gemini because I was born on June 5th. I'm a rooster because of 93. My planet is Saturn because I was born on a Saturday. So if you don't know that, if you don't know the whole plan, I take the zodiacs really, really, like... Now, I don't believe in the zodiacs. They're just interesting for me to read and study up on. That's what I like. So, and then for my gemstone, I am a moonstone. Now, the proper terminology for the month of June, for some whatever reason, if you've ever looked at the stones of months, June is the only month that has, like, 3 stones. I believe there are 2 stones in other months, but most months have a definitive gem. Like, it's, okay, in order, it's garnet, amethyst, aquamarine, diamond, emerald. Technically for June it is pearl, but I feel like pearl is not something I want to be, so I'd rather be its second gem, the moonstone, because it sounds awesome. July, I get July and August confused. I think July is the ruby, and I think August is the sapphire. No. Yes, because September, I believe, is the peridot. October is the opal. November is the topaz. And December is the turquoise. I think I'm wrong about August. No, ruby sounds right for July. And then, yeah, sapphire, I believe, is August. So, I'm a moonstone. And for the element, so it's weird for elements because there's only 4 of them. And there's 12 months, though. So they do have a repeating process of 3. I don't remember what mine is. I believe I'm an air, but I could also be an earth. I don't remember. I just know that I'm not fire, and that made me sad. Because fire, if you've ever watched Avatar The Last Airbender, fire's like secondary is lightning. And that's like my whole persona, like for 15 years, is I've always wanted, if I could be a mage of any caliber and some kind of weird like anime magical world, I'd love to be an elemental mage where I like solely focused on like storms and lightning. And a little bit of trivia about myself, the person who gave me the inspiration for that is Azula, actually. Azula from Avatar The Last Airbender, when I first saw her, like, do lightning bending, it was something I had never seen. And, like, this is like 10 to 12-year-old me wigging out because I had only ever seen her do fire, and she's got blue fire, which I also thought was pretty badass. But she started lightning bending in one episode, and I just was so entranced. I was just like, oh my god, that's so freaking cool. And, like, that was something I wanted to do. I was just like, look, if I could bend any force of Mother Nature, I would love to wield lightning. Do you know the kind of raw power and, like, the sheer potential of that? Dude, also, it's dangerous. Like, and, you know, I like to live a little bit on the edge, a little bit of risk. But, like, I just thought that was so cool. So, like, for like, 20 years, my whole persona has been based on, whenever I make my character or my OC in any of my fan fictions or in any of my, like, little headcanons, I always make myself something of an elemental mage because I enjoy being able to have that kind of power. So, but yeah, these are my zodiacs. I do like being Saturn. Now each planet of the day does have like an astrological meaning to it. I do not remember what Saturn is. So I'd have to go back and look. Let's move on. I believe that was what, question 3? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's 3. How tall are you? Self-explanatory. I am 6'1". For a while, I was just kind of at 6, but then, like, I don't know. I think I still grew a little bit more, so I am 6'1". I don't know. I haven't measured myself in a while. I believe I'm still 6'1". So that's what I just call myself. I call myself 6'1". If anything, I'm like 6.5, maybe 6 3/4, but I just rounded up at that point. Like, it's not that big of a deal. All right, that's question 4. Did you do anything last weekend? So this was 11 days ago. So 2 weekends ago, oh, I was still working. That's crazy. Actually, no, I wasn't. So 2 weekends ago, I was still working. I don't really do a whole lot on the weekends. I have more international friends and friends online than I do domestically. And what's weird is the 2 friends I would normally do stuff with, regularly, sometimes, like, if they hit me up for it, sometimes I would say no, or most of the time I would say no. Like, my one friend's obsessed with Fortnite, and sometimes you just got to be in the mood for that. I'm not always in the mood for Fortnite, so I don't feel like playing. Besides, I've got other things I've got going on. And then my other friend that sometimes I used to hang out with or go to his house and do stuff with, like the last time I was over there, I made the patio furniture for his July 4th stuff. But he hasn't actually spoke to me in, like, 2 weeks, which is weird because, what's it called? Because he's really into baseball. And, like, I was sending him memes and stuff during the July 4th, July 5th All-Star weekend. And then he hasn't messaged me since. It's been a month, actually, since he's talked to me. So, I know he's sometimes on Instagram. I just don't, I know he'll take social media breaks and post his stories on Instagram, but he, like, won't stay on there long. And it's just weird because he just kind of stopped talking to me out of the blue, too. And, like, he's probably, like, my best friend, like, I knew in person, like, the last few years. So I don't know what's going on. I really haven't asked him about it. I feel like it's not my business to. I feel like if I did something wrong, he would tell me about it because he's a real straightforward kind of person. But I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on with that. I believe that was question 5. Yeah, because that's 4. So this is question 6. What is my birthday? It is June 5th. I don't typically... Yes. I do not like my birthday. I hate my birthday with a passion. It is the worst day of the year for me because of the whole aspect of I don't like being alive. I hate my birthday. I just do. I remember... I don't have it in my Discord, and I will never say when it is. And what's funny is the friend I was just talking about, the baseball friend, he was asking me like on June 14th or 15th when my birthday was, and I said it's already passed, and he got upset with me. He's just like, what? And I was just like, yeah, and he's just like, he started giving me the what for on why, like I didn't tell him or anything, and I don't like my birthday. I haven't for years, man. I've not liked my birthday for like 10 years. Like the top 3 worst days of the year for me are my birthday, Valentine's Day, and then I was gonna say National Girlfriend Day, but I don't really care about that day. It just makes me feel alone and stupid. I'd have to say, the holidays are a good one. The Christmas holidays. Now, I don't like the Christmas holidays because because I'm like a Grinch or something. I don't like the holidays because whenever I go and hang out with my family and like everybody's there and we're like there for lunch or dinner or something like that, it just feels like I don't belong. So that's what upsets me. I definitely, like, if you look at my family on the grand scale of things, I definitely feel like I am just an outcast, which is kind of how I view myself more or less like the last few years, but I mean, what can you do? Yeah, I don't like my birthday. I've now liked it forever. If you're a newer friend and you tell me happy birthday, I'll be okay. I'll slightly cringe because I'm not used to like it being told to me. But if you're like somebody, like if my best friend Michael told me happy birthday, I would I don't know. And Michael's hard because I don't want to be mean to him. I'd just be like, hey, thanks, but like, can you not like tell me next time, please? Thank you. So I think that was question 6. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, yeah, that was 6. Okay, so the next question is 7. Yeah, I just don't like my birthday. The only time I have gotten upset recently, though, ironically enough, is in 2022. My wife, Lauren, forgot my birthday. And as much as I don't like being told it's my birthday, because I was very happy in the relationship with her, she was making me enjoy life again a little bit. And June 5th rolled around, and she didn't say anything. And I was just like, okay, well, I'll give her a couple of days. And then it was June 6th and June 6th, and she never said anything to me. And I was just like, dang, that forgettable, huh? That sucks. See, I finally reminded her, like, on June 16th or June 17th, and then she felt so bad, and I was just like, I'm your husband. Like, you're supposed to, like the most... Okay, look, you're not supposed to know everything about your partner, in my honest opinion, but you're supposed to, I feel like, remember and know the basics, like the birthdays, or, like, their favorite food, or, like, their favorite flower, or stuff like that. So, I don't, it just kind of stung a little bit. Anyway, let's move on. Which person can you trust blindly? This one. Yeah, my 2 best friends. Got the one in Texas and the other in Peru. So we have Michael in Texas, Diego in Peru. I feel like I can confidently tell them anything. And this is true. I'm very honest with both of them. Even if I feel like Diego's a little bit more like apprehensive of some of the stuff I say than Michael is, but I mean, it's because I've known Diego, so I've known Michael and Diego for 5 years, like 5.5 years. which is crazy because I met Michael in February of 2019, and I met Diego in March of 2019. So, like, 2019 at the beginning of the year was weird because I had just been disconnected from, like, a best friend of mine that I'd been, like, friends with for 8 years. And I guess I was feeling a little panicked because it made me realize how little of, like, a circle I had. So on one of the My Little Pony, like, fan sites, I started kind of reaching out, making myself known in some of the public forums, and I made some friends. And one of the friends, his name's Feathertrap. And actually, I found Michael through Feathertrap. So, like, I found Michael through Feathertrap, and I found Mark through Feathertrap. I love Mark. He's my friend in France. He's awesome. Like, he's just a really good guy. And who else did I meet? I met Vincent, Cyborg Anon. I don't really talk to him much anymore because his Discord got hacked. And we just don't talk that much anymore. But he's still a cool dude. I like him a lot. I met Zachnol. I don't really talk to Zachnol that much, but he's a good guy. He works hard. Zachnol's a real methodical person, in my opinion. Like, he's a good guy. He's also really smart with electronics and stuff, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I met Michael through Feathertrap, and I started role-playing with Michael, and then I realized how much, like, we liked certain things, and we would just kind of talk and talk and talk. And, like, he's been like my best. He's like basically my little brother now. So, like, I really, Michael's an amazing person, and he's kept me in check and kept me in line a few times when I've not been good, like, mentally. So, and Diego's the same way. Diego was in the military. Diego was in the military when we first started talking, and there was a while where he stopped talking because I think he wanted a break from everything. And yeah, he's gonna go back to school soon, I think in a few days. So yeah, so it probably go some days without talking to each other. But I've actually been playing Minecraft with him lately, so yeah, those two are my best friends for sure. This was all right. Question 8: what country would you move to if I could pick 3? Yes. So this was actually a really in-depth question. I can only answer like so many letters. I try to keep my answers honest, but that's the reason of this series. I feel like is I want to talk about the depth of my answers and why I answered them that way. So, if I could pick any 3 countries to move to, Canada, Italy, or Scotland. Now, there are some countries I would like to live in for a while. Like, I wouldn't mind living in Australia for a bit. Granted, I don't know if I'd be able to handle the animals. I would not mind living in Japan. But the thing with Japan is I'd be a language barrier. But I feel like some of Japan does know casual English, like a little bit of English. But these are the 3 countries I'd move to. And Canada I'd move to because they got better healthcare system, and it's pretty. I don't know if I'd move to cities like Montreal or Toronto or anything like that. I think I'd want to live in Edmonton or maybe Vancouver. Vancouver wouldn't be too bad because I'm still kind of close to the United States. I don't know if I'd want to live in Ottawa. Ottawa. Oh, I forget. Is Ottawa closer to Edmonton or is it closer to Calgary? I feel like Calgary's a little bit more to the north, ain't it? I don't know. Edmonton, Calgary, and Ottawa all kind of run across the middle of Canada, up in the middle areas. I don't remember which one is more north. I think Calgary is, but I don't really remember. I'd probably live in Vancouver or Edmonton, though, for sure. Italy. Italy is a place I would love to live because of the food. I have a few friends, and the geology. Italy is one of the more highly volcanic areas of Europe. So I would love to live in Italy. There's 3 volcanoes in Italy. There's Mount Vesuvius, Mount Etna, and there's a third one to the north. and I don't remember what it's called. It's either to the north or no, it would have to be to the north because Mount Vesuvius is really along the south. Yeah, I think there's a volcano in northern Italy somewhere. I'm fairly certain. Now that volcano, I don't believe is alive, or if it is, it's not very active. Mount Etna is the most active volcano in Europe, I believe, and Mount Vesuvius is I think it's categorized as dormant because all Mount Vesuvius will do nowadays is kind of smoke, steam out of the crater, but like no real eruption or anything like that. But yeah, I would love to live in Italy for sure. I don't know if I'd want to live in Rome. I feel like I'd want to live somewhere. I'd want to live somewhere nice, but not like a super touristy landmark. Like I could probably live in Naples, like down the way. I don't know if you can live in Pompeii. You might be able to, actually. I wouldn't mind living. Yeah, you probably absolutely could live in Pompeii. That'd probably be pretty cool. And then Scotland. And now Scotland is kind of an oddball choice. Now here's the reason why I would live in Scotland. So I am like 10% Scottish. Scottish people to me are hilarious. I love their accents. I love the way they talk. And I just feel like if I could Scotland is like the unhinged part of the United Kingdom where they have no filter. And I just feel like if I live in Scotland, even though the honesty's blunt and it may hurt my feelings sometimes, I just feel like I'd have a good time. Those are the 3 countries I would live in for sure. There's probably more I would live in. Like, I could probably live in Germany. I could probably live in Poland. Living in Poland would be cool because one of my best friends, Damien, lives in Poland. Netherlands. I could probably live in the Netherlands, maybe. France, I definitely would live in France. I'd try to be roommates with Mark, honestly, if I lived in France. Feel like we could make a good living doing that. Any other countries? Probably, I could probably live in Spain or Portugal. Well, Portugal I think would be nicer, but yeah, I could probably live in any country in Europe for the most part. The countries in Europe I would have a difficult time living in probably would probably be Austria or Switzerland, only because I don't really know demographically the kind of country it is. Switzerland's kind of its own little thing, and Austria is also kind of its own little thing. So, but yeah, Canada, Italy, or Scotland for sure. I think that was question 8. So this is question 9. In a relationship, would you rather be the person who makes the big decisions, or let your let your partner do it? Okay, so I answered. It really kind of falls under which division affects who. Okay, so in my relationship with Lauren, we were both timid. We were both submissive. So a lot of the time, I kind of just put the ball in her court, but she wasn't used to that, and sometimes she just wouldn't choose anything for us to do, and then the ball would be back in my court. Basically, it was like a badminton match between us, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why the relationship just never worked out in the end, is because we never know what to tell each other when we want to do something. I've always been somebody that if you tell me to do something, I will do it. I have really good obedience and really high tolerance. So I think that's also why I kind of prefer assertive women, slightly assertive women, because, if they tell me something with confidence in their tone and I can sense it, then I'll do it for them more or less. And Lauren just really was never that. So, yeah, but anyway, yeah, but here's the thing though. If Lauren was confident enough to tell me, Corey, all she had to do was say this a couple of times. Corey, I want you to choose everything we do from now on. You tell me that once or twice, and I'll switch the gear in my head, and I'll start doing that. So I'm like one of those people. I'm one of those people that, unless if you tell me something flat out, I'm just going to be kind of left guessing. So hopefully in my next relationship, I'm with a girl that can kind of have that kind of confidence. And if she tells me something like, Corey, I want you to pick everything we do in the relationship, and if I tell you I don't like it, then you can pick something else. And if, you know what, and if she tells me that to my face on the call or whatever, in person, I'll do it. I'll switch the gear in my head, and I'll be the shot caller. So, yeah, I'm the one that does that. Which makes the big decisions. Oh, this is a different... Oh, I was answering a different question. Okay, so for this question, real quick, I just rambled about a different question presented to me, because I got hit with another question that was similar to this. So for this question, rather, if it's a big decision, if it concerns you and not really your partner, that's going to be up to you. But if it concerns the relationship as a whole, you got to find a perfect medium. Perfect medium is best, because you may want something that your partner doesn't want, and your partner may want something that you necessarily don't want. If you could just somehow, if you could work the needle on the spectrum, even if at the conclusion the needle is skewed to one person versus the other, as long as it is somewhat close to the center and the balance, then that's fine. That's what I think. Like, you need, if you can find a perfect medium, regardless if you think, like, if the decision you want favors you 20% and only 10% to your partner, whittle the percentage down between you as close as you can. And if you guys can find a compromise where it 5% benefits you and 1% benefits them, but you both collectively agree on it, so that not one person is, overwhelming the other with the advantage that this conclusion presents, then that is what you should think and try to work towards. So rather than a plus 20 to a negative 10 split and sway, if you work it to a plus 5 to a negative 1, the needle's more or less in the middle, right? So I think that's probably the best way you can do it. I don't remember what question that was. I think this was question 9. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, last question for the first video. Who do we got here? How do you handle friends that don't make you feel valued or important? Well, I don't really know, to be honest. I don't have, because I'm so mellowed and mild-mannered anymore, I just don't really say anything. Now, does it hurt over time? Yeah, so this kind of goes back to, the conversation I was having earlier about my friend Anthony and how he hasn't talked to me for a month on Instagram. It sucks a little bit. It makes me feel a little bit sad, but I'm not necessarily going to confront him about it. And it kind of goes along the same thing here. Now, if it's a close friend, like if Michael out of nowhere stopped talking to me or didn't talk to me as much, and I see him putting his energy towards another person, then I might feel bothered by it, but I'm not going to end the relationship or the friendship over it. People are way too reactive nowadays, whereas I'm really go with the flow. If I feel less valued and important over time from somebody, I just kind of let it go. That's kind of how I let the marriage between Lauren and I kind of fizzle out, because the longer time went on and the longer she made me feel less important and valued, to where she wouldn't even, we would go 2 to 3 days without talking to each other or saying anything. I just kind of withered in my own mind. I didn't really call her out on it, and I probably should. One of my worst fucking traits and flaws is confrontation. I hate confrontation because I don't want to be mean, and I do not want to upset the person that I really like. I hate that. I hate doing that. I've always hated doing that. So yeah, I just kind of let it go. Everyone's different. If they actually have a real issue with me on something, I would hope they tell me about it, so that maybe I can make the necessary adjustments to make them view me a little bit more than what they had been in recent like days or weeks. But other than that, I don't know. You know, there's friends I have on Discord that I have not talked to in months. I remember I was friends with Mark on Discord, and we talked for a little bit, and then I didn't realize it, but like until earlier this year, I hadn't really talked to him on Discord in like 3 years, and it was crazy because when I started talking to him again, like we both clicked, and he invited me to one of his servers, and you know, we talked for the first time playing Jackbox games, and we never realized how much we both get along. And like all I can think of is it makes me wish that we stayed in touch better the 3 years that we didn't. So I don't know, but either way, I just let whatever they want to do what they do. I don't call them out on it. I don't do anything. And I certainly don't unfriend them out of nowhere, because that's the worst feeling. You ever like have a friend, right, where you've been friends with them for so long, but then you haven't heard from them in a while, so you check on their socials or whatever, and it says add friend, like they removed you at some point and didn't even tell you? That's what I don't like. And I don't know, and I don't think I could ever do that to anybody, even if I felt like they deserved it. So, yeah. Alright, so that's the first 10 questions we have answered. A 35-minute video. Jeez, I fucking talk a lot, don't I? Anyway, hope you guys have all enjoyed the video. This is going to be a one video series that I'll probably upload twice a week on like different days. I just got to figure out the days first. Maybe I'm thinking maybe one Tuesday, one Friday, and that'll be good. It's like a good balance. Like 2 days. Well, no, that is a good balance, because it'd be Tuesday, which is the third day of the week. Friday is the sixth day of the week. So yeah, it'd be Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday, third day, and then it'd be Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, and then it would go 3 days until Tuesday again. Yeah, we could do that. And then today is Saturday, so I could start uploading these. I guess I could upload this first one today. Anyway, if you guys have any questions for me, anything like that, ask me on the old Tellonym. Everything is anonymous. Tell me anything, and I will answer it. And I may even get your questions here on a YouTube video. Now because they are anonymous, I will never actually know who sends me these questions. So don't worry about that. You could ask me anything, and yeah, see you next time.